In this video, I'm going to look at adding some decorations to this design. The decorations I'm going to add are going to be themed around my dog. So I'm going to be looking at paw prints and little doggy bones. I could create my own paw prints and I could create my own bones, but I'm actually going to go online and I'm going to take some images, clip art images, manipulate them a little bit, and then bring them into 2D design and use those instead. Now, if you are really talented at vector art or bitmap art, then go ahead and make your own. But I'm taking this little shortcut here, and I don't think this is in any way going to undermine the quality of the product or my ownership of the design. And in fact, out there in the real world, clip art is used very frequently. So that's my justification. So let's have a see what I've got. Let's have a see. I've got this dog bone here that I'm going to work with. So I'm going to download this, and I've got this paw print here, which I'm also going to download as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now, and then once I've downloaded them, I'm going to bring them into paint.net. So I've just gone ahead and done that in the background, and here we are. This is where I've got my files being saved to. So I've got, well, that's interesting. Dog bone has been saved as a Chrome HTML document. So let's just see what happened there. Dog bone. Let's just go to there. Okay, very interesting. So what I'm going to do here, when I'm saving this right now, I'm going to call it again dog bone. But what I'm going to do, I've changed from this Earthen View WebP file to all files, and at the end here I'm going to save this as a JPG. Let's just see how that comes out. And there it is. It's now a JPG file. Now the question is, it's still got the same. No, that seems to be okay now. It's got the JPEG logo, at least on my system. So let's just see how that works out. Let's drop that in the top right corner. I'm going to bring in paint.net. Let's just drop it down here, and let's just see if this all opens up. So there's my dog bone. Let's drop it in. It's open. There it is, nice. And let's just try the dog paw. Open. Yeah, there we are. So they've both worked. Let's maximize this now and get these ready to work with in 2D design. So I had a little brain blank there. So the first thing I'm going to do is first thing I want to do is remove the margin. I want to just have the paw. I don't want to have this white margin, because that could cause problems in terms of scaling this and locating it in 2D design. So let's just come to the Magic Wand tool. I'm going to select the background here, keep my tolerance at 50%, edit, invert selection. So now instead I've selected all the black paw, and I'm going to come to image and crop to selection. So this is a very standard process. Let's come to file, save as. It should hopefully go back to the same place. Yes, it does. And I'm going to save this as a bitmap, a BMP, non-compressed image, which is really good for 2D design. 2D design loves bitmaps. So I'm going to save that now. Okay, now let's come to the bone here. So I've got this Shutterstock element down here. I could come to the brush tool here. Let's just bring up, where's my paint? Oh, there it is. I could use the right mouse button here and a nice big brush, for example, to sort of brush that out. Or instead I could get the selection tool. I can click and drag exactly what I want, but not the text. Go to image, crop to selection. Now Magic Wand tool, select the background, edit, invert selection, and then image, crop to selection. There's lots of ways you can do this, but again, basically I'm just wanting to get that bone design. And now let's go to File, Save As, and let's save this as a bitmap or BMP file again. Okay, I'll go with the defaults. That's absolutely wonderful. Let's minimize this. Let's go back to 2D design. And now I want to bring in those little graphics. So let's have a look. I'm going to go to bitmap, import bitmap. Now I need to come to file stream here. Let's have a see. Student resources, tutorials, 2D design. Let's go to date modified, which is, here's my most recent selection. Let's bring in my, now hang on a second here. That's showing me the previews of the JPEGs. And interestingly here, the bitmap formats aren't actually showing in this view. Let's see, yeah, very strange. Don't know why, but let's go with the dog bone there. So I want to bring this in. Now in terms of sizes here, I'm going to have these as the actual the hour indicators. So I'm going to bring this in with a height of, let's go with 15 millimeters of, now width actually, because thinking about it, the bone was horizontal, wasn't it? Okay, so that, what have I got there? How does that look? Yeah, I'm liking the look of that. I've got to do some work with it still, but that's basically my bone. And then let's start bringing my paws. In fact, is that big enough? I'll have to see. I can always bring it in again a bit bigger, can't I? And let's now come to bitmap, import bitmap. Let's go with the paw. And I'm going to have this as a fairly big paw here, so let's go with 20 millimeters in width. And there it is. So let's just bring this across to here. In fact, that's the wrong one, because that's the one wrong with the margin, isn't it? Let's do that again. Bitmap, import bitmap. I want to have this paw here without the margin. Let's have that as 20. Now, is that on the big side? Now, I think that's going to be okay. Right, I just want to zoom in here and have a look at this bone in a bit more detail. No, I think that's going to be fine. Zooming out a little bit there. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna bring this in. I'm going to bring that bone in again, and I'm going to bring it in 20 millimeters again. Oh dear me. Okay, I just feel as if that's a little bit clearer. You know, I could have scaled this one up. Yeah, let's just be clear about this. Because I've got my grid lock turned on. Let's just zoom out a bit more here. Let's take this to the side. You know, I could have actually brought this in as a 20 millimeter bone like this, but if I actually put those side by side, let's just see what happens there. Yeah, you can see it's kind of distorted. And also as well, I tend to find they lose a bit of resolution if you scale them up, so that's why I've not done that process. Now there is one more thing I'm going to do here before I finish this video, and that is I'm actually going to get rid of this cedar fill texture and this white texture here, because what that is doing is it's making my grid invisible, or it's blocking it, and it means as well that when I come to select things, sometimes, you know, I select the background and everything gets covered, so that's really annoying me. So the last thing I'm going to do in this video is select this background, and I'm going to change that fill to no fill. And I'm going to select this cedar background here, and I'm going to change that to no fill as well. And I just think that's going to be a little bit easier for me now to map out, to manage the placement of my little graphics here to decorate my design. Okay, I'll stop there, and I'm going to start to decorate in my next video.